This is the Four-Man Rush. Hello, Panther fans, and welcome to another podcast of the Four-Man Rush. Today we're going to talk about some wonderful news. Madden. I know there's a lot of Madden fans out there, and we're going to jump on some some likes and dislikes between some of the NFL players, and we're going to highlight some of the some of the NFL players on our Carolina Panther team. We're also going to talk about top 10 coaches, and is Ron Rivera one of them? We'll talk about that. I'm not going to touch that right now. How big of a bargain is Christian McCaffrey compared to the pending contract extensions to, Ezekiel Elliott and Melvin Gordon? We all know, Christian has gotten better each and every year. We'll talk about that because, Elliott's a beast, Gordon's a beast, but anyway. And we're also going to talk about the Four-Man Rush, our plans for Camp Wofford coming up, our new website that is beautiful. You guys are going to have to check that out. And we have clothing apparel. Damn it, that's right. We have clothing apparel. Can I say that? Okay. Yes, we have clothing apparel. And I have to say they look stunning. They look stunning. So let's go ahead and jump into the goodies first, right? Let's talk about that Madden 2019. EA Sports is in the game. Right on. So Larry, Madden, there's some people out there that are pissed off about their ratings. When I say people, I'm talking about NFL players and things of that nature. So just give me your take on the new Madden game and the ratings, and we'll go from there.
Well, I'll start by saying, I've been playing Madden. I'm 30 years old. My first Madden game was Madden 93, and I've had every other game since then. So, when these ratings come out every single year, pretty much always disgruntled because they never show the Panthers any love specifically. One eye-popping thing that I caught this year was Luke Kuechly. Last year he was a 99. I didn't see much drop-off from his game from last year to this year.
At all.
Apparently, he's a 98 this year. And then when you want to think about who is the only linebacker in this year's game that's ranked at a 99, you're looking at Bobby Wagner from the Seattle Seahawks. So I know for sure there's a couple of guys in Panther Nation that were really, really disgruntled about this. My boy A.J. Allen, he wasn't pretty ecstatic about that. And, when you want to dig into some numbers, it just doesn't add up. But I'll get into that a little bit later. But another thing is, if anybody noticed, they had the 40-yard dash they did for $1 million?
Yeah.
With some of the best athletes in the NFL. Dante Jackson came in second place in that. You know what his speed rating on the game this year is? 95.
95, man.
And a lot of people will be like, well, 95 is pretty fast. But when you look at guys like Tyreek Hill, who got a 99 speed rating.
Stop it.
A couple other guys got 98 to 97s. You're looking at Dante Jackson like, what's the problem? So that's probably the biggest thing I was upset about. Other than that, they didn't show our offensive line any kind of love. I think our highest rated offensive lineman this year was Matt Paradis. He comes in at an overall of 88. I think the biggest surpriser was Trey Turner, Pro Bowler, perennial Pro Bowler. No one will believe that his overall was an 80 this year. So just the 80. Just the 80. That's it.
Trey Turner?
Trey Turner's an 80, even 80 on Madden this year. So that's a perennial Pro Bowler, by the way.
Perennial.
Some of the things that you probably weren't surprised with, people don't know much about Rashawn Golden or nothing like that. I think his is a 67.
God.
But, as the season goes on, they go based off of how things happen in real life. They actually adjust the ratings every week. So hopefully his rating goes up if he gets significant playing time. But just to touch back on that Luke Kuechly issue, so in 102 games, Luke Kuechly has 609 tackles. Bobby Wagner in 103 games had 559 tackles. Assisted tackles, Luke Kuechly has 339. Bobby Wagner has 357. Combined, Luke Kuechly has 948 total. Bobby Wagner has 916. Bobby Wagner, the only thing he had better really was sacks. He has 16 and a half sacks compared to Luke Kuechly's 12 and a half sacks. However, Luke Kuechly has 55 pass breakups, 16 interceptions, defensive rookie of the year, defensive player of the year. I mean, aside from one single category, Luke Kuechly surpasses Bobby Wagner in every aspect, but Wagner gets the 99. That's all I'm going to say on Madden today. I'll take some whatever your thoughts are about
it. Go ahead, Kevin.
Excuse me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, Kevin. Go in on him,
I'm sorry. I was just allergic, hearing those numbers, going on with my own personal recollection, that I'm sorry, my body just had an allergic reaction to just, scream bullshit. I'm just going, we grown here. We grown. I can say it. But yeah,
hide your kids.
This. Sorry for the kids that's listening, but hey, it's real talk.
Yeah.
But, little background with me, just like Larry, I got on the Madden franchise probably around 98. So you got a head start on me. I'm finna be 40. Come this Saturday. So I've been playing Madden damn near about 20 years myself. And I get the frustration of the players because as a fan, I've always been playing with the Panthers since, the Panthers been around and you take a look at the ratings and the numbers and you just be like, really? Seriously? Like you could tell the media and the small market teams, if you're not a winner, you're not going to be favored. Now, I'm not going to sit up here and holler any kind of conspiracy, but just always been something that just kind of frustrate me. And hey, I'm gonna keep it 100. I went to settings and I twerked the attributes some. I'm gonna keep it real. I know you're not supposed to say that, do that, but hey, if I felt like something was just totally absurd, I tweeted to where I felt like it should be, and I played how I played. Now, I'm just gonna leave that alone. That may be against the Madden rules. But it's a reason why that option is there because they know they messed up. So, so be it. Still lost a few games, but that's a different story. But overall, I could definitely, feel the players' frustration about it, and because this is like the most popular like football game ever, if I'm not mistaken. Only thing more popular than Madden, I think, is FIFA soccer as far as video games. So it's definitely something that causes not only fans but players to overreact. And Tim, if I'm not mistaken, we got a little piece about an NFL player that went Super Saiyan mode about his NFL ratings, if I'm not mistaken, right?
One Keenan Allen, yeah, it's on his Twitter feed. It's hilarious, man. He was really pissed about that. I don't know if I should play it on the podcast. I don't know if I should play it. What I will do, I'll put the link, the text content. So you guys just scroll down, you'll see it. But it's hilarious, man. They gave him some messed up ratings too when he went in. So who makes this stuff?
He's a perennial Pro Bowler, and he came in at an 89.
I mean, that makes no sense.
And then they gave him an 87 speed. That's like one notch higher than Luke. Luke is an 86. And we know Luke can move, but
oh, that's sad, bro.
I thought Keenan Allen had legit, 4.5 speed, 4.4 speed.
Now, if you guys, for you guys are listening right now, if you want to go to it's on the Sports Center Twitter feed. He plays for the Chargers. Obviously, you can go to the Chargers Twitter feed too, and he's in his car, man. He's just going in like, dude, what the hell is this?
He's absolutely livid about his Madden rating. So that just tells you, the fans aren't the only ones that play Madden. These guys, these players go home and play Madden too. Exactly. I remember, I think the Redskins, they had a quarterback issue. I think after Alex Smith broke his leg and I think the backup got hurt. Long story short, they called up this guy off his couch. I think it was Johnson. So he asked him, it was like, how'd you get to know your players so fast? How were you able to build your rapport? He was like, I just play Madden. So, NFL players are into it just like we are. So that's something big to them. And obviously it's a new generation. They kind of take these things to heart.
Yeah, man.
If you look at our overall roster, I'm a little bit upset because it's only two players above a 90. You got Luke at 98 and McCaffrey at 91.
Wait,
I think those are probably the only two players that are extremely happy with their overall grade.
Wait a minute. Wait, come on.
Yeah. And then you get Olsen, who's been hurt like the last couple of seasons. He ranked in at 89. So he was higher than a lot of other, bookend tight ends that have been doing their thing around the league. So, they kind of just got it off this year.
Wow.
I think the most accurate thing you can get is maybe Kawan Short is an 85, Gerald McCoy is an 86. So we got a pretty star-studded up front D-line type of thing. Surprising thing was Brian Burns. He's a 76. Most rookies don't get grades that high. He's actually one notch higher than Bruce Irvin. So
wow.
And then his acceleration rating is a 91. So you talk about that first step off the ball, they kind of hit that on the nail. So,
man,
they hit in certain places, but for the most part, they missed in a lot of places. And, Madden, I don't get too upset about it anymore because they disappoint us every single year with these ratings, man.
It's almost like they want to do it so people have something to talk about, like we are right now.
That's why they do it, to be honest.
Like we're doing right now.
Yeah, exactly.
They got us.
Panther Nation, if you play Madden on Xbox, you can look me up. WalkinLicSmoove. I also post that on one of our pages or something like that.
Yeah.
You'll be able to get it.
Shoot me that info, man. I'll type it on there.
I'll definitely shoot that out there. I'm an avid Madden player. I play it every year, no matter how bad the game is, no matter how good the game is. I'm there present every year. And we do a few leagues on the side, too. So if you want to join the league, let me know. I got plenty of leagues you could join.
Wow. You heard that, folks. You still playing, Kevin?
I'm going to be honest. I haven't played since Madden 17. Got caught up in this thing called life.
Amen.
Had to switch up careers and had to get on my hustle. And I was like, look, as much as I like Madden, I can't take Madden to the power bill. I can't take Madden to my car payment. I can't take Madden to the grocery store. So,
facts.
I had to get on. But I definitely look forward to, when I do get some downtime, definitely looking forward to picking it up this year because I definitely like our roster. And like you said, as the season progresses, I'm looking forward to seeing how the ratings adjust to dealing with the style of play. Now, for all the talk so far, particularly with the Panthers, we failed to mention Cam Newton. And I'm looking at Cam, as a 84 on Madden. Now, anybody that knows Cam Newton, Cam is probably the biggest Madden player on the team. As far as I've been following throughout the years, I've seen videos where he's had teammates over for quote Madden parties and Madden tournaments at his crib and things like that. So when it comes to that, I mean, I'm looking at Cam. Overall, he's a 84. They got his awareness 88, speed 85. Shocker here, accuracy is up higher than it's been in a long time, folks. They got Cam at an 88.
What the?
If I'm not mistaken, or is that acceleration? ACC. Larry, help me out.
Yeah, that's acceleration.
The acceleration.
The
way they break down the accuracy this year, they'll do it like short pass accuracy, deep pass accuracy, so on and so forth. I can take a quick look for you if you give me a second.
Yeah. You can look that up while I, chop it up a little bit more. But yeah, so when I looked at Madden, I took a look at who else on there. Bradbury at a 79. Darrell Williams at a 79. So it seems like they got us down for a little like an overall average offense line. Personally, I thought Moton might be a little bit higher. They got him at an 80. I figured he'd have been like possibly with the season he had mid 80s, like 84, 85ish. But that's neither here nor there. Word is he needs to improve his run blocking a little bit more. But I think we'll definitely see that. Scrolling down through the roster, I mean Eric Reed a 76.
Wow, that's disrespectful.
I'm like,
are you serious?
Right.
That's disrespectful.
What 76?
Wow. For years, Cam used to have like a 99, 98 throwing power. I guess they took his shoulder injury into consideration this year because he's looking at a 93, which is still a gun, you know.
Yeah.
Short arm accuracy, he's at an 88 this year, which is, like you said, pretty high from what we're used to seeing. Medium is an 84. That's like the intermediate passes, which is from what I remember, a little bit higher than what we're used to seeing.
Mm-hmm.
And in the deep ball, they kind of took some love away from him. He's down to the 82 this year, and he used to be pretty high on that regard. He used to be one of the best deep ball passers in the league. So I guess that's fair. I guess that's fair. They didn't take too much away from his athleticism. So, Cam is Cam, and usually every year his rating goes up. So throughout the season, you'll probably see that climb a little bit.
Yeah. Yep.
Now, another thing for me, as you was talking there, I was just scrolling through. You remember how we posted in the four-man rush about who were the top cornerbacks in the division, and both Dante Jackson and Javion Elliott, where he was with Tampa Bay last year, but he's with us now, but he was their top cover corner.
Yeah.
Just to kind of show you now, Javion Elliott actually graded slightly better in coverage than Dante Jackson. But according to Madden, that apparently didn't mean nothing because Dante Jackson is rated at an 80, while Javion Elliott is rated at scrolling down here. Oh, wow, he's way down here, a 66. So, hey, that's why I say that's the frustration with Madden, because how can someone that graded slightly better in coverage be such a huge discrepancy, unless, other factors of his game just kind of, they viewed as, worthy of him being way down. And then I had to look up my own boy, Alex Armour. They got him in a 67. Trash. I ain't gonna lie, my boy, he maybe got a little generous with this, even though it's low. They got Butler at a 69.
You ain't check out your boy Dennis Daly then, huh? Did you?
It ain't finished loading up that far down, but
I could get to it for you. I know exactly where you're at.
Yeah, it's a 58. I just saw it. It's a 58.
Ooh, 58.
But real talk, though. Serious disrespect, though. I mean, I know he's just a long snapper, but come on now. Jansen at a 47, really? You know what I'm saying? Like, we're talking about someone that's been in the Pro Bowl as a long snapper. I mean, please get the man in the 60s or something. This man been in the 40s every year. Man, I mean, Kyle Allen for one game torched New Orleans. He got a 49.
They gave that man an 82 speed, though. Kyle Allen is mobile, I guess.
They gave Heineck an 83, and he's rated a 54. So, hey, go figure. But yeah, these are just some of the things, folks, that us Madden heads look at down to the degree. We'll scroll through every attribute of every player and grade it with a fine-tooth comb. So that's just how how much it means to us.
And make sure you guys enjoy that Madden on Xbox and PlayStation 3, 2, 4, whatever. I still play it on PlayStation 2, so yeah, I'm that kind of guy.
Oh, you got the Fred Flintstone version. I got you.
Yeah, okay. Man. Yeah, I'm still playing 06, bro. Hell yeah.
Oh, with McNabb on the cover.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. No doubt. I don't need to invest in the PlayStation 4. That's going to take me away from what makes me money. So I don't even go down that route.
So, Tim, do you use dial-up or DSL to play Madden? I just want to know. Neither.
I play the computer. The computer and I have a good time. Oh, man.
You're hilarious, man. Let's get on to the real stuff.
Yeah. So, next topic. Coach Rivera as a top 10 coach in the NFL. That's a tough one, man. I think so, but yeah, that's just me. So yeah, folks, we're gonna give you guys a take on that one. Yeah, simmer on that as we go through this with a fine tooth comb. Kevin, do you think Rivera is a top 10 coach in the NFL?
When I answer this question, I'm definitely going to answer it, without any bias. So definitely just based on, my overall love and respect for the game. But yeah, I definitely think Ron Rivera, let me correct it. Ron Riverboat Rivera is a top 10 coach. So let me just go ahead and put the spin on it, because when he's Riverboat Rivera, he's easily a top 10 coach. I would say anywhere between top 5 to 7 when he's Riverboat Rivera for me. We've seen that when he's in Riverboat mode, I mean, the play calling is, everything about him is just aggression at the right time. It's not all out aggression, but definitely putting the team in position to seize the moment versus trying to, stall off or hold off the inevitable. I I'm a big fan of Rivera since he was hired. I kind of follow him a little bit before he was even offered a coach. Knowing him back in his days with the Eagles up under, their former defense coordinator, was it Jim Johnson, if I'm not mistaken? The one that passed away. But anyway, and then when he went to Chicago, when the Bears went to the Super Bowl and got smoked by Peyton Manning them, when, he was the defense coordinator there and when he was in San Diego. So, yeah, I'm a big fan of Rivera. I definitely think that when he's in riverboat mode, he's definitely top 10. For me, I would probably put him around anywhere between 5 to 7, depending on the argument that day, to as far as like coaches in the NFL. Just the fact that from a defensive mind frame, I definitely think he's a top 5 defensive mind coach in the league. And we saw that with the last 6 games that he took over defensive play calling, how much the Panthers defense, which had been looking like straight hot garbage for a good middle part of the season during that 7-game losing streak. I think I had posted on the 4-Man Rush Facebook page, a post where when Rivera took over, the points per game went down to about 16 or 17 points a game with his play calling. So, we can get anywhere near that with the type of talent we got this year. I could see him being hailed as one of the best defensive mind in the leagues under the terms of the ones like the Wade Phillips and the other masterminds of NFL defenses. So, yeah, when he's Riverboat Rivera, he's definitely top 10. When he's Ron Rivera, 15, 20 range. But that's just my personal perspective.
Well, there you go, folks. Larry, how you see? Top 10?
Well, the reason why we're talking about this is because CBS Sports put an article out, put their top 10 coaches in the league. I had to look at the list. You got Mike Tomlin, you got Sean McDermott, you got John Harbaugh, Frank Reich, Doug Peterson, Pete Carroll, Sean McVay, Sean Payton, Andy Reid, and of course the GOAT Bill Belichick. So first thing I think about is who would I replace for Ron? So first off, yeah, he's a top 10 coach, 2-time coach of the year, first coach to three-peat the NFC South, got us to a Super Bowl. We've had like a 5 or 6 year run as a top 10 defense. The turnover in our coaching staff is crazy. That tells you a lot about the head coach. Pretty much everybody's moved on to bigger and better opportunities. First thing that pops out, they put McDermott in the top 10, and that's Ron Rivera's protege. He comes from his lineage. So, no, yeah, he's definitely a top 10 quarterback. I think if he were able to win more consistently, like put together a back-to-back what some of you guys define as a winning season, we would definitely probably be in the top 3 argument. Frank Reich, I think it's a little bit unfair to throw him in the top 10 after only 1 year of proving something and didn't even really go that far in the playoffs. Ron Rivera is definitely a top 10 coach based on everything that Kevin said was pinpoint accurate. One of the biggest things I respect about him is even when we having a bad season, I don't think you can find anybody outside of Don Terry Poe that, took a play off. And that's in the whole 9 years. And that, it was his first year in the system. I guess he didn't really understand how we get down here in Carolina, but he knows now. Guys play hard for him, no matter what time of the year it is, no matter what our record is. When you have that kind of respect in the locker room, that speaks volumes. There's a lot of coaches that didn't even have bad years but end up getting fired because the players didn't believe in them. So step one to being a head coach in this league is, your players got to believe in you and your staff has to believe in you. And Ron has consistently been able to prove that every single year. I don't think it's a guy in Carolina that works for the Carolina Panthers that doesn't believe in Ron Rivera. Even David Tepper shows you that by bringing him back for another year when he didn't even have to. So I think the writing's on the wall. Ron Rivera's work speaks for itself. His resume is strong. People have been begging to fire him in years past, but I can pretty much bet my last dollar if he were to fire Ron Rivera, he'd have a job in 24 hours. The whole league respects him. So is he a top 10 coach? In my opinion, yes, he is. Where I would rank him at, I would probably put him around 7th right now. I think I know Mike Tomlin beat us last year, but I think overall, Ron Rivera is a better coach than Mike Tomlin just because of the command he has in the locker room. We don't tolerate drama here. There were signs that Mike Tomlin was losing that locker room with all the antics Antonio Brown gave you, arguments between him and Juju Smith-Schuster, Ben Roethlisberger, just drama. And that's something that we don't really have to deal with here. So, yeah, I'll probably put him around 7. Put him ahead of McDermott, put him ahead of Tom, and put him ahead of Frank Wright.
All right, I can agree with that, man. I absolutely have a lot of respect for Ron Rivera, and I think people tend to maybe not forget, but kind of put to the back of their mind the structure that Ron Rivera had to come into in terms of players, personnel. He did have these guys playing at a high level, even though we weren't winning a lot of games early on. We had a patchwork for a defense and things of that nature, and he was trying to pull guys who understood the scheme, and he did what he had to do, but he never lost that locker room, not at all. And when you can spit out head coaches who were under your tutelage left and right, like he has been. Even though Wilkes ran into a buzzsaw in Arizona, I mean that was set up to fail, and no matter who took that job, it speaks volumes about his ability to teach and his ability to motivate, and that's a sign of good leadership. And those guys will run through a wall for that man, and that speaks volumes, especially when you got personalities like Cam Newton in your locker room, and you hold it together. Cam wasn't easy to deal with his first 5 years, I guarantee you. He's grown up a little bit since he started to have children now, and he's a father, whatnot. But yeah, to be able to have somebody like Cam Newton on your side in that locker room, that spoke volumes, and he was able to keep Cam and Smitty together for that season too. So I mean, Ron Rivera is a top 10 coach in my opinion, just because of the respect that he gets and his ability to motivate. That puts him in top 10 for me easily.
Hey, Tim, I agree with you. And just to touch on your last point, man, you look at the other 31 coaches in the league, outside of Bill Belichick, how many guys would bench Cam Newton for not wearing the right tie? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
To demand that kind of respect from your players and they still respect you afterwards, like you said, it speaks volumes. But I wouldn't trade my coach for anybody right now, except for probably Belichick, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you trade a defensive coach for a defensive coach, man. Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
You can keep all this new age stuff. Let's go get the handsome, offensive-minded Todd McVay. Sean McVay. I could care less about that stuff. Man. Handsome still wins championships. When it came down to the big game, the Rams couldn't get a stop.
Yep.
You see it every year. Your offense can get you to the dance, but your defense is going to win the game for you. So the most important one. So I'll take a defensive-minded coach any day of the week if they definitely coming correct.
Here. And Ron Rivera, when he got the right parts, folks, he will screw with your head. He will screw with your head if you're a quarterback out there, man. Try to audible out of that stuff. Yeah, you got somebody like Luke in the middle and he's groomed and molded. You want no part of that ride, Jack.
Yeah, and one thing I would like to say, is that Bruce Irvin mentioned that one of the biggest things that influenced him to sign with Carolina was a conversation that he had with Ron Rivera back during the draft process back in 2012. For those that don't remember, in 2012, Bruce Irvin was drafted, I believe, 3 spots after Luke Kuechly at number 15, and the Panthers had some serious talks with Bruce Irvin at the time, if I'm not mistaken. No, Luke was taken 9th, but I think Irvin was taken around 15th, if I'm not mistaken, and it was a conversation that stuck with Irvin all these years, even though he played in Seattle. He said he always had an admiration and respect for Ron Rivera for being straight to the point, for being direct, and definitely telling the way that it is and not what you want to hear. And he said that always stuck with him. So when he had the chance and opportunity to come and play for Ron Rivera, he said without hesitation, it was definitely one of the biggest factors for him in choosing to come with Carolina. Yeah, I know he only did a 1-year deal, but I definitely think that, if he puts up stellar numbers and along with a good winning season, I definitely believe he's someone that would like to stay around, just simply for the fact that he has always had a love and admiration for Ron Rivera, and that came out of his mouth from Bruce Irvin. So that speaks volumes that even on one of your biggest rivals, that you still remember a conversation from 7 years ago, and it still sits with you today. So that says a lot about what type of person Rivera is and what other people feel about him as players.
Right on, man. Great discussion, man. Well, of course, we're going to wish Coach luck, but he's come quite a way as a HC, and it's only going to go up from here. Absolutely, we got the pieces in place to make that happen. Speaking of which, Christian McCaffrey is one of those pieces, and based on what we've seen with Ezekiel Elliott and Melvin Gordon and their production, and in comparison with their contracts and things of that nature. Some will say that the Carolina Panthers have a darn good thing going. Maybe even a bargain, if you want to say, with what we've gotten out of Christian McCaffrey. Quite honestly, if you want to talk about the 3 down backs, he's positioned himself in the top 5 easily. NFC, AFC combined. I'm being real with you. Number one, endurance. Right. Number one, endurance. Number 2, his ability to catch the football is remarkable for a running back. So Larry, how do you see Christian McCaffrey in position as far as us having a bargain out of in comparison to what we're paying this guy in his production?
I mean, to get what we're getting off a rookie deal is one hell of a bargain, because if you look around the league, like you mentioned, you got a guy like Melvin Gordon, who's been pretty productive. I think he's had 1,000-yard season, but for the most part, Melvin Gordon is the type of running back you got to look at his whole body of work as far as all-purpose yards. Mm-hmm. He's also a touchdown machine, so he usually finishes around 13 to 1,500 all-purpose yards, gets you 10-plus touchdowns every year. Mm-hmm. You look at Ezekiel Elliott, the whole league fears him except the Carolina Panthers. We showed you why we don't fear him in week 1.
At all.
When you really look at the whole body of work, Zeke is one of those type of backs that, he deserves top dollar. I'll go as far as looking at Le'Veon Bell. He stood up for the running backs because it's an undervalued position, but these guys are some of the best athletes in the game itself. So you see what kind of money he got. I think when it comes around to it, when it's time to give Christian McCaffrey that bread, he'll probably be the highest paid running back in the league. So you're asking if we're getting them at a bargain right now? We absolutely are. We better ride this rookie deal as long as we can until it's feasible for us to give him an extension. One biggest thing, like you said, was endurance. What did he play? 97% of the snaps?
I believe so. It was mid to high 90s.
The Cowboys' whole offense, and he didn't play that many snaps. Ezekiel Elliott, he's not as good at catching the ball out of the backfield. Pound for pound, Christian McCaffrey, you got to throw him in that top 5.
Got to.
I don't know if you guys learned that, but Todd Gurley has arthritis in his knee.
Yeah, man.
So if you're looking at the future, as far as top running backs, I think they're going to put him on a little bit of a pitch count. Not to say he's not talented, but they want to try to wear him as long as they can. Mm-hmm. The top 5 running backs in the league, to me, right now, you got Ezekiel Elliott, Le'Veon Bell, Christian McCaffrey. Mm-hmm. Last 2 spots are interchangeable. I want to kind of throw Saquon Barkley in that mix, and I want to throw Alvin Kamara in that mix. But
yeah,
however you want to label them, however you want to put them, whatever order you want to put them, to have a top 5 running back says a lot, because most of the time running backs are pretty replaceable. A lot of teams are doing it by committee. A lot of teams lose a running back, like the Steelers, for example. They lost Bell. This rookie guy comes in and gives you the same production. I don't think it's the same when you got elite guys like what we're talking about right now. Right. So all those guys I named are going to get paid, but the fact that we've got one of those guys and he's on the rookie deal right now, that's one hell of a bargain right now.
Absolutely. Kevin, how do you see it?
Well, I see it as, with Christian McCaffrey, while we was listening to you guys, I was just looking up his rookie contract. His 5th-year option is not until 2021. So obviously with the pending CBA coming up, if I'm not mistaken, after the 2020 season, it's definitely going to help determine a lot what goes on as far as the type of money that'll be available to re-sign a player of Christian McCaffrey's caliber. Easily, top 5 running back in the NFL, not just the NFC, but just the NFL period. I think if you went to all 32 GMs and ask him who the top 5 running backs are, I'm pretty sure that McCaffrey's name would come out the mouths of every GM. If they didn't, it's probably our NFC South rivals who, just want to be petty and try to throw that guy in the mix. But, that's neither here nor there. But, as you guys were talking about, other players around the league, let's also not forget about what happened out in Denver. They released C.J. Anderson and got an undrafted rookie. What's the kid's name? He had like over 1,000 yards, if I'm not mistaken. Philip, can't think of his name. Larry, you know who I'm talking about, right? The running back out of Denver, Lindsey. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Philip Lindsey, an undrafted rookie. He came and got over 1,000 yards for Denver. So he's someone that's definitely done, got his eye on the map. So,
wow.
The whole thought process of, running backs can be replaced. As a whole, most teams probably feel like that. But when you get the type of 3-down caliber running backs like McCaffrey and the other ones around the league, you just really have to take advantage of the fact that while you can afford them, build up your other areas, because when payday comes, McCaffrey going to get his bread. Now, we all like to think, hometown discounts, this, that, and the third, but, depending on how this new collective bargaining agreement goes, we'll just see exactly what's on the table. I think McCaffrey doesn't even get to the 5th year. I think he probably gets extended probably sometime during his during the 2020 season next year. But again, it just depends on how everything else goes with other players, like Cam and Luke. But definitely when it's payday for McCaffrey, 12 to $15 million a year, I see easily being something that he would definitely be deserving of, if not a little bit more, depending on, the market for running backs at that time. So, yeah, McCaffrey is definitely someone that Panther Nation, we should be extremely thankful for. I know a lot of Panther fans had felt that he was too small. He can't run between the tackles. Oh, let's just put him at a slot wide receiver. I heard all of that.
You gotta stop that, Kev. He's just because he was right, bro. Let's just keep it funny. he about the same weight as Devontae Freeman, man. Just don't run his valve.
I mean, really.
Smarter. I hated that about that. People talking about he's too small, he can't do this, and that's because he was right, bro. We already know what time it is.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you channeling your inner Monty on that one, because that definitely would have been something Monty would have said if he was here. So, shouts out to your Monty. We'll catch you on the next one, bro. But yeah, the white part too. And crazy part, it would be a lot of white Panther fans who were saying because he was white. That used to trip me out, seeing in the Panther groups like, wow, really? Okay. All right.
Yeah. It's unfortunate too, man. People have their prejudices or whatnot. Not necessarily in a racial thing, but people are used to seeing the Gurleys, and they're used to seeing the Jerome Bettises, and these big bruisers, and expect that's what a starting 3-down running back should look like. Well, folks,
you sound like you wanted to say these big black guys. I heard you.
Well, man, you could put in.
It might be a sensitive area.
I'm just saying now. I mean, you could throw in Zonka. You know what I'm saying? You could throw in Big John Riggins. I mean, it's out there. But we're football minded like that. I mean, the
last great one that we saw was probably All-Stop, man.
Big Mike. Yeah,
Caucasian running backs, man. So it's just something you don't really see too often.
You don't.
When it comes along, a guy like Christian McCaffrey, he shocked a lot of people. It's just unfortunate that, in a game that we love to watch, people still look at the color of a person in some positions, in some aspects. You see the same thing with Cam Newton and other players. But I'm glad he was able to, to overcome all that. Show the team, show the world, show everybody that, he's a running back. He's not a white running back. He's not a black running back. He's a running back. He's a Pro Bowl running back.
He's a Carolina Panther running back, and he might break every single running back record that's ever been set by a Panther.
Maybe some catching records too.
Absolutely. He might have a single season reception record coming up on the horizon if he hasn't broken already for a running back.
And who's that white running back for Cleveland? They got on the cover of Madden. Was it Peyton Hillis.
Peyton Hillis, yeah. He had one good season.
Yeah, and then that Madden curse, got him. So.
Man, that curse is real too, bro.
That Madden curse get a lot of people, bro.
Woo.
It got Antonio Brown right up out of Pittsburgh.
Man.
He really thought that they was going to get rid of Ben and keep him.
What was he thinking, bro?
That man curse is real. Bro.
What is he thinking? Oh my God!
It's real, except for Tom Brady. He was on the cover of Madden and still got a ring. So Brady does not apply to normal logic.
Hey, one year he broke his damn leg. What you talking about? Was that the year he was on Madden where they had to put Matt Castle in?
I don't know if that was that same year, but yeah, I remember that happening.
No, he wasn't on Madden that year. That was the Madden where Ray Lewis on the cover when Brady broke his leg, the 07 edition. Brady was on the Madden
one not too long ago, like 18.
Yeah, like
17.
Yeah. When they played the Falcons in the Super Bowl, it was because that was the game leading into the intro of the game. Him with the Falcons, but rules don't apply to Tom Brady when it comes to the Madden curse. I don't figure that out.
Yeah, he's gosh. When you talk about unicorn, this mother.
Hey, when you got a head coach that can watch the other team practice the whole
hey now,
it ain't too hard, bro.
Hey now, that's not real, Larry.
Already been confirmed, man. You know what time it is.
That's not real. Oh, that's just a theory. That's one of those things,
Go back and ask John Fox about that 2003 year. We know what happened. And I'm not even trying to sound like a salty Panther fan. It's confirmed. It's confirmed information. That's public info.
Yep. All
day,
every
day. Out in Arizona, and Bill Belichick was watching us practice, man. That's why we couldn't do that in the whole first half. Had to go make some halftime adjustments. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, they've been cheating. They've been cheating to build their legacies. Nobody's going to talk about it because they got so many wins. But I don't hate on nobody, man. I'm just focused on the Carolina Panthers getting one this year.
No doubt. And quite honestly, man, if we didn't have a history with the Patriots, it probably wouldn't pan out that way. 2003 will forever be a part of Panther history. And, so in that regard, we're always going to talk about the Patriots. We're always going to talk about the Patriots. Damn it.
If cheating gets you 6 Lombardis, sign me up for some cheating, please. I'll take cheating for 200, Alex.
Dang, man. Where's the integrity with you?
Just joking, man. Just joking, listeners. We're just joking. We'll go out there and start start hitting people in the kneecaps in the parking lot,
Just a little around the league news. Bobby Wagner is expected to sign an extension with the Seahawks. Supposedly, it's going to make him the highest paid linebacker in football. So that just raised some questions for me. I'm hoping Kevin might be able to answer before we wrap up. What does that mean for a guy like Shaq Thompson going into a contract year, and for a guy like Luke Kuechly? He's probably going to want to deal in a couple of years as well.
Being with the position, Wagner, if I'm not mistaken, is middle linebacker, and Shaq Thompson was to be outside linebacker. Believe it or not, that does kind of affect the market based on the position.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as far as Luke Kuechly goes, Luke took a hometown discount, I feel, because from what I'm feeling like, Luke took either the first or second offer that was made to him. I think he signed for 5 years, $60 million, which at the time, based on his resume, was a steal. But I think that made him the highest paid
linebacker that year.
At the time. Yeah, because I think it was as much as Patrick Willis, the former great middle linebacker with the San Francisco 49ers. So I definitely think that with Luke Kuechly's contract, you had this discussion earlier this morning, Larry. I mean, it's going to be interesting. I just want to see how this collective bargain is going to play out to help dictate, how much money is going to be on the table for these players.
Keep in mind, now you got to throw Shaq in that conversation with them, because in the 3-4, he's considered an inside linebacker now. And that's the same kind of money as a C.J. Mosley, Bobby Wagner, Luke Kuechly. He's getting that same bracket. as far as, if you're franchise tagging guys. Basically, he falls into that window with inside linebacker. That's why I said what that might mean for him, because they all getting the same type of money between the three of them. Bobby, Luke, Shaq, inside guys get the same kind of check. Now, if he was an outside in the 3-4 like an edge rusher, that'll be a little bit different. You see how they did Davion Clowney in Houston. They tagged him as like a linebacker, so that money is significantly lower than what a real true edge rusher is. So Texans are in turmoil right now. I think Clowney might probably try to get up out of there. But I was just curious, that's all. I wanted to see, maybe we might want to extend Shaq a little bit sooner. Maybe try to look into the future, because I know Bobby Wagner's about to break the bank. Right now, C.J. Moses getting $17 million a year. I think Wagner's easily clearing $20 a year, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and just to update you guys on the status of Luke Kuechly's contract, he signed a 5-year, $62 million extension back in 2015. His contract is actually not up with us until his current contract doesn't expire until the end of the 2021 season.
Thank God.
During that year, he's only, and I'm saying only, going to be making $11.1 million by the time that contract is up. So, we was talking about McCaffrey at a bargain. I mean, we're talking about Luke, 6-time first-team All-Pro for $11.1 million, and we have not heard any rumblings, any disgruntling, any talk from his. I don't think people even know who Luke Kuechly's agent is. That's how low-key and mellow and strictly all about football Luke Kuechly is. So, my conversation with Larry this morning was just thinking just based off his mannerisms, I understand it's a business, players got to get paid. I think Luke wants a fair deal, but I don't think he's going to try to break the bank even if other players do, because I think Luke values winning and he knows it's going to cost money to keep talent around. And now, if he's getting all the money and we ain't got nobody to keep, them blockers occupied in front of him so he can do what he do, all that money ain't going to be as fun to spend if he's not able to do what he's used to doing. So I think a fair deal for Luke, but I don't think he's going to, try to break the bank, but we'll see what happens.
Well, folks, before we wrap up, we have a couple of announcements to mention about the website, the 4-Man Rush website, which is now up and running, by the way. And we also have some clothing apparel that we are testing out and will be getting out there for you guys to check out. Kevin, you want to elaborate on that for the listeners, please?
Yeah, definitely. 4-Man Rush fans, I just want to say that these projects have been something that has been in discussion for several months amongst the 4-Man Rush, because we had a vision in place, and thanks to the support that you guys have given us, we just went all out above and beyond to make sure that we can give back to y'all the way that y'all given to us to allow us to do what we do. So with this Panther with the website for the 4-Man Rush, which went active as of 11 o'clock this morning, we're looking forward to giving you an interactive experience that allows you to get all of your Panther content on any level that's needed. This was something that took about 6-7 weeks to build, and the settings of the website kind of puts you in a social media mind frame as far as like the controls, kind of like what you're used to doing on, on Instagram and, so on all the other social media apps. So the controls will be pretty much familiar to you guys, but we're talking about something that's fan friendly that gives you access. And the website is the 4manrush.com. Now you can spell that two ways. That's the THE, the number 4, manrush.com. And if you forgot to put the number 4, you can spell it THEFOURMANRUSH.com. Either one of those will pull you to our website. Now, there is some training that the 4-Man Rush is going to undergo next week to learn how to add content to the website as the season progresses. So we're all going to be, having the ability to, be able to update the website and, make sure that we keep our fans with as much fresh and vital content as possible. But this is definitely like the jewel pride of every single member of the four-man rush. We all contributed. We all put our thoughts, minds, thinking caps together, had some disagreements, had some great long conversations. So this is something that we're very proud of, and we definitely look forward to you guys having full access to it. The other part that also dropped today was I've been speaking with someone that has a relationship with apparel. This particular person actually did the apparel for the South Carolina Gamecocks football team. And we're just looking at starting out something small to kind of get a gauge of, the interest of you fans. As y'all know, in business, it's all about supply and demand. Looking at some Foreman Rush T-shirts and fitted stretch caps to possibly put out to you guys. And depending on you guys' reaction and your demand, we can definitely expand and make sure that everyone that wants to take a part of it will have access to it. We got different color schemes. We got the black T-shirts with the blue background writing, and then we got the opposite. We got the blue T-shirts with the black background writing in it. Our hashtag What a Rush is going to be on it as well. So it's definitely going to be something that when I unveiled to the fellas today, it was just something that really something that everybody seems to really like. So as we strategize to bring this forward to you at the right time, we definitely hope you fans would definitely enjoy it, because we put a lot of hard work into it, and we hope we will have a product that you'd be proud to wear and let everybody know who the Four-Man Rush is.
And for you Panther fans and for you listeners out there, the exclusiveness of the Four-Man Rush is also a part of the appeal, right? There's a lot of Panther podcasts out there, and we support them. We support them on social media. Kevin's been on a couple. He's been interviewed on several. So nothing against anybody else. It's just that our format and the content that we bring is so exclusive. That logo is going to represent exactly that. So when somebody sees you with a Four-Man Rush T-shirt on, or a hat, sweatpants, whatever it is going forward, they're going to know that you are a part of something special, and that's the Four-Man Rush. So, anything else you guys want to touch on before we wrap up?
Yeah, man. For the Madden heads, WalkinLicSmoove on Xbox One. I mean, I can attest with Kevin. I don't have as much time as I used to, so I might not be as good as I used to be. I'm a full-time student in school at the moment, but I still got IQ, and I still, hand out a couple of L's. So.
You spell it out for him, man. What is it?
It's WalkinLicSmoove.
And that's on Xbox.
On Xbox One.
Xbox One.
Sir.
You heard it first, Madden heads. We'll see what you about.
Oh, yeah. And real quickly, just to pass on a couple of quick notes as we wrap up here. Many fans probably did not know this, but former Panther offensive line coach Mac Macer just passed away back on July 14th. He was 72 years old. He was the Panthers offensive line coach from 2003 to 2006. He was someone that was well respected around the league. He was offensive line coach not only in the NFL but also in college here. So definitely, a loss to the Panther family. Anyone that's ever been a part of us, I think it's our duty to make fans aware. So, he was part of offense, the coach that helped get us to 2 NFC championships game and a Super Bowl during his tenure. So he's definitely condolences to his family as well. And also, with his death, there's also life. It was also announced by DJ Moore via his Instagram that him and his longtime girlfriend are expecting their first child. So definitely look forward to, watching that takes place and
congrats, DJ.
You know what I'm saying? Fatherhood is a great thing. So yeah, that's just the last tidbits that I had.
All right. So thanks again for dropping by for another podcast for the Four-Man Rush. It is our extreme pleasure to bring football news from a Panther standpoint and from a universal standpoint as we discuss our passion for the Carolina Panthers and for football as a whole. Again, thank you so much on behalf of myself, Timmy Vio, Kevin, Larry, Will, Monty, Canardo, Norris, and if I left you out, my apologies. Vince. Yeah, that's a gentleman's name, Vince. I need to start giving Vince some shout outs, man. He's going to be a part of something big. So, again, thanks for dropping by and listening to this podcast. Morning, afternoon, evening, wherever time of day it is. I hope you had a wonderful day. I hope you continue to have a wonderful day. And as always, keep pounding.
I'm just taking time to really let it breathe. So baby, just chill. Yeah. She love it. We out in public and we can just chill with my partners and we can go back to my crib and just chill under covers and do we got me and you love us.
The Four-Man Rush is brought to you by the love and respect of and for the Carolina Panthers and Carolina Panther fans everywhere. Keep pounding. The Four-Man Rush is a non-affiliate of the Carolina Panther organization. All thoughts, assessments, and content of this podcast is directly related to the Four-Man Rush exclusively. Thank you.